Okay. Welcome back. This is Learbach, of course. This is my third audio vlog, or audio log, whatever you want to call it. And again, this is for Metroid Prime Battlefield. If you don't already know that, go ahead and watch the previous two videos. But just to recap of what it is this is basically Star Wars meets Metroid. Star Wars Battlefront meets Metroid. Can't put it into simpler terms than that. Anyway, and if you want to know any more information about, look into the previous episodes as I stated before. But anyway, on to what I said I was going to talk to in the last episode, which, for recap, in the last episode we talked about the hero classes, and, got into, who would be in the hero class. We of course had Samus and the hunters from Metroid Prime, and we came up with, what the Space Pirates would be for that, for, the Space Pirates heroes would be. This episode, I want to talk about kind of how the levels would look, some of the items that would be used, which I didn't say I was going to use that, but I didn't say I was going to say that, but just kind of an idea that popped in my head, and a little bit of, maybe about the story, which, admittedly I still haven't come up with for the, story yet. Probably something, I don't know. We'll figure it out, though. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out soon enough. But let's talk about the level designs. Basically, I want there to be enough unique levels so that, these are our worlds, not Nintendo or Retro Studios or whoever programmed Metroid before that. Whatever development team did Metroid before that. But these levels are our levels, not just ripped from random locales of the game. And obviously, considering the general makeup of the games, how they're all just closed quarter. A lot of them they're all just basically closed quarters with very few really big, relatively big rooms, and definitely not big enough for a 1/16 match. We'd have to make our own maps, obviously, and a lot of these maps will probably be based on other areas. There may be a map of Aegon Waste from Echoes, or Town Overworld from Prime, or an area in Elysia, Skytown, and from Corruption, which by the way, for those of you who are curious, I would really love to see a huge map for that. I love Skytown, that game. And stuff like that, and then of course there'll be a lot of areas that would be just our own areas. We'd make up our own planets and have them be on there. Maybe there'd be an obligatory snow world or an obligatory volcano world, because obviously doing something like Magmore Caverns, which is a fire-heavy place to begin with, you can't really do that unless you, maybe completely ripped off Mustafar from Battlefront 2, from Star Wars Battlefront 2, so, yeah, obviously that wouldn't work. So I suppose we could just copy the map and just put some stuff in there. Yeah, that'd be real original. Again, looking for originality in these concepts more than the worlds we want to make the world familiar, the world that we're copying familiar, but still we want to make it clear that this is not in the same area that Samus was in the games, but this is like a different area that you weren't able to explore or something. Like, or maybe make it look like it's more realistic in design as opposed to just being just a bunch of hallways. And the occasional big room, you know. And obviously we're gonna have to make these like pretty big fields, but we don't want them to be empty. We want them to be we want them to be relatively decent sized. We want them to have some relatively decent amount of clutter, but not so much so that people are overwhelmed. Like we want big tower spots that look like they'd be big towers in the way that would be like little blockades to keep just like purposely put there, like maybe like these were once a tower command area, and maybe put like a little ledge in there for like people to climb up to get like vantage points from there. Or maybe just put like little ledges into the sides of the walls or something that people can climb up again, getting vantage points. Like say maybe there was an area that already had a big battle and you're just kind of trying to take it back over. Whichever team you are trying to take it back over, so maybe there's like a damaged wall or something, and there's like a big hole in the wall, and this big fort that you're going through in the middle of. Speaking of which, this has kind of got me into the idea. For the most part, with a few exceptions to this rule, I want these maps to kind of be be mirror image of themselves, like the basis of the map, not necessarily the clutter in the field. And I know it's not really clutter, but that's kind of it's kind of an easy way to describe it, isn't it? Just kind of call it clutter, isn't it? But the clutter in the field can be kind of dispersed in it. But I want the majority of the actual maps themselves to be relatively even for both sides, with of course a few differences, because we want to make some maps. We do want to make some maps unique to play on, and they may not necessarily be the best maps to play on, but they'll be maps that people would have fun on still, nonetheless. Yeah, another important thing is making sure that the maps are fun to play on, not a pain in the butt to play or anything. Because let's put it this way: there's nothing. We want to make sure that the playing field is even for both sides 99% of the time, or at least 90% of the time. 9 times out of 10. Yeah, there you go. Whatever terms you want to use. Because it's really not fun to play on a map that's going to be like, oh, let's not play on this map. This team always gets shafted, or this side always gets shafted, or whatever side I'm rooting for always gets shafted. Yeah, stuff like that. You don't want to feel like we're getting played for chumps. Or one side's getting played for chumps just because we want to favor the way the map works. That doesn't mean that we can't do the maps like maybe like one side will start off with a high ground or something. That doesn't mean we don't necessarily have to do that. We can do like unique maps, like completely unique. Like maybe one side will get like a fortress, while the other gets like a small hub, like a small little hub, and there'll be like checkpoints between these areas as well. But like they'll have like maybe 1 or 2 at the most in these areas, and because those could be very fun, as long as we make sure it's not like, oh, this side is exclusively getting this, or this team is exclusively getting this side. We want to make sure it can be swapped around. I think that would work as well. I've been saying that a lot in these audio logs, haven't I? I've also made well to reference someone in each episode, so I might as well go ahead and get that obligatory side note out. I just gotta figure out something to oh, here we go. Here we go. No, I can't do that. I can't do that. Anyway, avoiding that topic there. I could say I'm being like a Chuck Connor and just repeating everything I say 15 times. There we go. There's the obligatory reference there. And it's a Let's Player too, so that makes it even better. Well, the last one was anyway. Back on the subject. Good thing about this video, since I'm talking about this one thing, I can just kind of ramble on a little bit more. But nonetheless, I think I'm pretty much talking about how I want the builds to be like. Let's see what. Here's an idea. Of course, we're not going to be able to use the doors in the same way. If we're going to use limited ammo, we don't want to have be like, to shoot the doors to open them, because then that'll just waste ammo. But maybe the doors like open up automatically, and then what you could do is like have like, say the signature blue doors from all the Metroid games open up for everyone, and then like Team A gets a red door, and only Team A can go through these doors. And these doors will probably use like just their main bases where you can't get to the checkpoint. This is where your team will automatically respawn if there's no other checkpoints to get. And the timer's running down. Speaking of which, I've been thinking like maybe for like the main check. Well, I'll get into the checkpoints next. Yeah, then there'd be like a green door for Team B, and then if we decide to do more than just two teams, which is a possibility, certain maps could definitely support. We could definitely make certain maps support multiple teams. Then that would be like another color, and so on and so forth. And I'm looking through these games, not right now, but I'm like just kind of mentally looking through these games, and there's quite a few areas there's quite a few different door colors. Like you got the black and white, you got the dark and light doors, which look significantly different from all the other doors. You got the red doors, which look like it's from the plasma. The purple doors from the wave being the ice doors, which I think are white. So yeah, it's definitely a possibility to use multiple colors. Next items I want to talk about, aside from just the doors, the checkpoints. And this one I think is a must. At least in my opinion, it's a must. What the checkpoints have to be, or the command points, whatever you want to call them. But this is what this is what I think personally. If I have any bit of say in this project at all, this is the one thing I want them to be. Save points. Yes, save points. I think that'd be pretty cool to have those. I think they'd be like just the right size. You wouldn't have to be in them to get them, but they'd be big enough. They'd be there, and you'd be able to see them. They'd be visible. We could use different save points from different games just to kind of show off, like, hey, they're all the same thing. Just like maybe have like the checkpoint that you start off with control of. Like this checkpoint that the space bar start off with control would be like these checkpoints, and these save points from this game. The checkpoints that the Federation would start off with would be these checkpoints from this game, and then the signature ones, the ones that would not have anyone start off with, would be like these from the last game. Or like I said in the last episode, we get a really good model that can make modified versions of these and make unique versions. And yeah, could be a possibility. And again, like I said a few minutes ago, you wouldn't have to be directly on top of them. You'd be probably like 10, 20 feet away and be okay. And as long as like you're within that range, it'll start gathering up. Again, using Battlefront as a page reference here because it's the only reference I have. I know there are other FPSs that do this kind of game style, but Battlefront I think got it right the first time. But yeah, like you'll see, like it'll work under like if your enemy controls a checkpoint, then theirs will slowly drain, and then yours will go up after you completely drain theirs. And then if you just got like a regular, just an uncaptured command post, uncaptured checkpoint or save point, then it'll just fill up yours, and it'll take like half the time. It'll take like half the time than normal because you're not having to worry about draining enemies. And the more you have capturing the post, the faster it goes up. And the more the more the other opponents have defending the post, the slower it goes. And if it's equal sides, or the defense is higher, then it just stops altogether. And if the defense is higher, it'll start traveling back up. So yeah. Let's see what else. Items and boxes, like the ways you're going to replenish ammo is probably going to be through items and boxes. Various boxes that are strewn about, probably strategically placed. A lot of boxes will be around certain command posts and like stacked on top of each other, probably like three or four at the most. And if you're feeling ballsy enough, let's go ahead and use that as a term. If you're feeling risky enough, you could definitely try to use those as vantage points, even if they wouldn't be like the smartest idea. Let's see. What else? Oh, let's go ahead and get into this real quick. Underwater levels, no, unless there's gonna be absolutely no hindrance in movement. Like if we do water levels, you'll have to probably let them jump higher. This would probably be the same thing if you did like gravity levels or something, like gravity levels. Space levels, you'd let them jump higher or something. But yeah, I'm not at all planning on doing water levels unless we give every character like a gravity suit look for it. Because quite frankly, everyone knows this. Everyone probably agrees with me on this. Water levels in Metroid games are a total pain in the butt to deal with. And so yeah, no water levels. Let's see. I know I said at the beginning of the story on this, but like I said, I really can't think of any story ideas right now. Like I said, the best thing I can do. Well, let me get into like how the structure's gonna be like. You're gonna have like good and evil, good side, bad side. You're gonna have the Galactic Federation and the pirates. And of course, neither side is technically gonna be evil. It's gonna be basically just a view of opinion sort of thing. Because let's face it, that's pretty much what it's gonna end up being. So yeah, you'll play probably depending on how the story goes. You'll probably play as one side then the other, or maybe they'll just have two storylines that aren't interconnected with each other, which would definitely be a first for these kind of games. Where they're not necessarily interconnected with each other. Like maybe there's like the basic premise is definitely like, well, there's a war breaking out, and then breaking out among the space pirates and the Galactic Federation, and this could probably be like what escalates into corruption. Like maybe corruption could be like ending moments of it, of the war. Like, you know how, like, it kind I don't know, it's just, Metroid Prime Corruption just kind of feels like it's that kind of thing. But, basically the main storyline would go through and kind of, build up that relationship between, uh, all the characters. And, like, as for, like, the pirates, for example, they'd have their relationship between them as a team and kind of grow as a team. And for the Federation, Samus and the Hunters and how they met and how they get along and kind of like discover more about them. And of course we try to be as true to their characters as we can. You know, Run just being the kind of the cool loner kind of guy, Gore being very strategic and logical, Vendreda kind of flirting with Samus. That's the best. Kind of treating her like an older sister, like she looks up to her. And Samus, I'm not really sure how we're going to do Samus's personality because she doesn't really have one other than just I'm badass. And by the way, we are going to completely ignore Metroid Other M, much like all the other fan bases have. Quite frankly, I don't know anybody else's opinions other than like the reviewers and a few fans, but I did not care much for the story and thought that it made for a very crappy into the canon story arc. It would have been good if it was like at the beginning, but again, they chronological takes place in the wrong time period. It's stupid. It's stupid anyway. The game is annoying. That said, I haven't really actually played the game myself, so feel free to correct me. I know I'm going to get at least one response from here saying, what are you talking about trying to do a story? This game, you can't even talk about Metroid Other M. That game had the best storyline ever. That game is insane. You suck. I'm not disagreeing with you. I ask that you don't fill my mailbox with spam and just leave me one message that says you hate me. That's all I care about. Just let you know, I will not reply to you, so you're wasting your time. And for those of you that are actually going to send it for real as a joke, that's going to... for those of you that are going to send it as a joke, that's going to be rather quite humorous. But anyway... yeah, the main problem with this story idea is that we're gonna have to get like voice actors or something for it, or just kind of have like just the text crawl, and that's kind of a problem because I'm pretty sure we won't be able to find voice actors, and that'll just add more to the development team and the people that want to take credit for the work. And I don't mind taking the credit at all. Don't get me wrong. That's just going to be a lot of people that want to get involved in this. And the more people we have, the bigger the game's going to end up being, the longer it's going to take. And so yeah, we might just do like little text scroll things like you do in Echoes. And probably do some scan item stuff like scanning isn't gonna be like necessarily a big thing in this game. Like it's gonna play a part, but it's not gonna be like. I want the single player experience to be more story driven than just game driven, because obviously that's going to be an issue. Obviously, we've got to give them some purpose to play, and I think character development would be a very good way to go with it. But anyway, let's see. As for the Space Pirates side of the story, we could probably go far more unique with them, since they're going to be more or less original characters. Like the Omega Pirate Elite that I said was going to be like Gore's counterpart. Could be his own character, have his own name, of course. All of them are going to have their own names. Dark Samus probably wouldn't play much, unfortunately, because well, truth be said, they never really actually say whether or not they see or get in between the games. So yeah, I mean, I don't think you ever hear any of the hunters looking at. I don't think you ever see any of the hunters looking at Samus and Dark Samus going, what? Two of you, or anything cliched like that. Though I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played the game, obviously. So maybe she could have like her own separate storyline within the pirate arc. Like maybe she'd be like you start maybe like with the heroes. You start with Samus, and then in the Space Pirates you'd end with Dark Samus. I don't know. That could work. That could work. My saying of the week. My saying of this Advent. That could work. Yeah, technically speaking, anything could work. It's just a matter of getting it to work. But yeah. As for the story, we could easily include unique levels for the story mode only, like maybe the insides of a Galactic Federation ship, or the inside of a Space Pirate ship, maybe a level in the Space Pirate homeworld, and in addition to that as well, you wouldn't just end it at just that. You'd also have other things. You'd also have other stories aside from just the main character. Like you'd have stories where you'd be able to play as classes, like levels you'd be able to play as the classes themselves, and those would be more like the actual gameplay. Which I think, again, I think that could work. I gotta stop saying that. Yeah. Let's see where we're getting at. We're getting at 28 minutes again. So I think I kind of said all I can say about this episode. Let's see. I guess get in this video like I do all the others. So looking for pretty much the entire development team. I'm kind of just an idea guy at heart, really. Unfortunately, that's all I'm good for is coming up with ideas. Unfortunately, you get a lot of them rejected because my friends are. I'm not gonna get into that. Because they're not getting into that thought. Yeah, I'm the idea guy. I'm pretty much looking for any and everyone who can. Anyone who can work on the teams, anything at all. Leave a comment below if I'm posting this on YouTube, or send me a message. That's actually a better way. If I do have a Facebook account that should be on my YouTube profile. If that's how you want to get a hold of me there. Though be warned, comment. I don't check my Facebook on a daily basis, so the best thing is probably just to message me. And just let me know if you're interested. Please, if you are interested, please be legitimately interested. I don't want to end up having to stop halfway through this project, because someone didn't have the patience enough to work with me or with anyone else in that matter.